There we go. Hello, hello, hello. All right, I think we're live now. I think we're live. Are we live? I'm pretty sure we're live. I just wanted to make sure. Hello, 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 reporting in. How we doing? Sorry. I might be a little excited today. Today is not my birthday, but it is my birthday week. Oh my god, hello there! It's a flooded Titanic! I'm so sorry. Or, no, you flooded the Titanic, never mind. Sup, nerd? Hey, it's a Pharaoh. What's going down? What's going on? How is it happening? How's it hanging? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Crystal Library, everybody. It's very, very serene and chill for now, but I don't know. I can't always be chill because I'm excited. I'm sorry that I have energy and I have to say things, but hi there. First and foremost, welcome. If this is your first time, if you've never met this ridiculous face before, by some odd god reason, this ridiculous dork who loves anatomy and science and Sonic and anime is named Kiana Peppers. Hi there. Crystal K reporting in today. We're here for mostly anatomy and knowledge and chill vibes and occasionally nerds. Stinky nerds, to be exact, sometimes. But hey, y'all, what's going down? Oh, really? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Tell me, does the Digivice, I don't know how far we've come with Digimon. Is it still like pixelated when you get your Digimon? Or is it like you have an egg and it just bursts into... I would love to see what they look like now. Do we have like full-on 3D Digimon or are they still pixelated? That's fun, that's fun. It's an art stream. Yeah, I would exactly assume the exact same thing. I don't think anybody should be here if you're not a nerd. Hi, don't bring that word in this chat! You put that filthy Nagito away. We're pure here. We're not at all horn dogs in this stream. We're totally calm and sweet. By the by, I might be a co-host for a friend who does Danganronpa streams every Wednesday. You should go hang out with them, and I'm a little more cray in there. Yeah, I know! I saw it! Stop bringing it up! I'm gonna freak out! I'm trying to stay calm and serene and... I can't do it. Anyway, hello! All the geeks and the dorks and the nerds, welcome. We're here to freak out about anatomy and hopefully break it down. I've already completed the Proko anatomy course over the last 5-ish years. I've figured out most of it, and I'm here to basically be your buddy to figure out the rest of the journey. If you're jumping on board, if you're relearning anatomy, if you've never even touched this stuff, I'm your anatomy study buddy. I am not the teacher. I'm your study buddy. So I'm gonna make mistakes. Proko is the teacher. Go tell him all of your questions, but I'm hopefully here to answer and break down some of it. Yeah? So anyway, chill Sonic vibes. Let me know how audio sounds. If I'm too loud, if music is too loud, let me know, let me know, let me know. If I'm just being overpowering and yelling in your ears. I also have a pancake. Oh. He's a stick, last I checked. He's just a man with a brain tumor. Poor thing. This is unrelated, but I guess while I'm here, I should really quickly address a few things. First and foremost, there's a Patreon if you want. You can type this and get it. I put a lot of stuff on there besides just what I've already learned. But, yeah, I don't want to market all day long. I just want to get these links out of the way because I think you need to know about them. But basically, every single thing I ever learned in this course, all of it is going to live here. And exclusive tips and tricks will live there. So if you want further breakdowns, if you want more in-depth looks at certain studies, I've done 3D models of a lot of the stuff we're going to look at today as well, which will be available on my Patreon, and many, many, many more things. As well as a 100-page Google Doc of just everything I've learned. Lives there for $3. You can have it if you want. I'm a note sharer, which means I love to give information away for free, and it gets me in trouble a lot. So take it. I don't care. You can have it. And every single, all of the anatomy studies that I've done up until now, all 5 years of my knowledge live there as well. So you can have that. You can also have the lovely link to the Discord, which I only share on stream because I want to make sure that we're active and using it in there. And the same thing, you can get feedback in there, you can add your art in there, which is not just anatomy, it's also welcome to fan art, original art, and all kinds of things, as well as lots and lots of Deltarune. You've been warned. Oh my gosh, what arcade game are you playing? I am not a multifocuser. I wish I was. I don't think many of us are, but I'm honored. If I can be ASMR background noise for you, I'm sorry. But you're welcome. But yeah, and then I guess that's it. I do have a cat under my feet. There's a Neko down there. She's snoozing. I don't want to bother her. But if you really want to see her, I can show you. It's up to you. Pac-Man? Did you freak out about the Sonic and Pac-Man crossover? Dude, I miss old games. Dig Dug was my jam back in the day. I never could beat like the 3rd or 4th level, but I was a Dig Dug queen way, way back. Anyway, does Sonic count as arcade? Was it ever an arcade? Cat reveal? Okay. If you twist my arm. No, I'm kidding. I know we want to see the Neko. Nobody cares about me. We care only about the Neko. I need a cat cam. As soon as I can, we'll make it happen. All right, hang on. Baby! There she is. There's a cinnamon roll on the floor. There's another one roaming the house somewhere. I have 2. Yeah, you did? I'm sure you did. I was thinking about it. All of the old school gamers out there freaking about Sonic and other games collabing. There's a Mochi. She's very sleepy, so I'll leave her be. But she's usually a toe licker. Bye, Moch. Yeah. So anyway, I thought we would do anatomy today. Holy cat. But I have to preface, this is a safe for work stream, so censor bars. Oops. I can't let the YouTube see the boobage. I can't show you nipples, sorry. However, if you do want to see the authentic picture, I don't think I can show it to you, but you can download all of the photos and do this assignment with us. We're not gonna do it. Wait a minute. We're doing it together if you want to join me. Oh my god. I can't focus with the jams. I put Sonic on for my birthday, my favorite boy. My blue boy's gonna kill me. I love these jams. Sorry. Oh, really? Oh, 2 franchises with a lot of history. I didn't know Pac-Man and Sonic were so well affiliated. I guess it doesn't surprise me. Back in the day, Sega was trying to collab with as many companies as they could to get their name out the door and become a competitor with Nintendo. Which, look at what happened. But you know what? We're coming back. I'm so proud of my boy. He's coming back. He's coming back. He may have kissed a princess once and has set him down a trash fire dumpster, but he's still my boy. Even if Sega's company made some questionable choices. I will not linger on that thought because I'll rant for 7 more years. But what I was gonna say, since we're here for anatomy, I don't want to take all day ranting about things, but there is a poll that exists on this channel. Also, you can press that like button if you want to. It really does help a lot. I'd appreciate it, but you don't have to. It just takes 1 second of your time. Thanks. Listen, I hate using those words. Subscribe and like! It physically pains me to say that. You'll do it if you want to. Do it if you want. But anyway, my ADHD. Oh, malfunctioning brain fart. Oh! Yes, there's a poll. And as of now, nobody has voted on it. So I was gonna say real quick, if you visit my channel, the Crystal Library streams, if you scroll down a ways, there's a poll where you can answer basically which picture you want me to tackle first. And as of this moment, there is no response. So if I get no votes in the next 5-ish minutes, I'm gonna probably just pick. Or we can just pick together right now. So those polls tell me what pictures that we want to focus on, because I'll try to do the main picture that won and the runner-up. And if I can hit 2 today, that's the goal. But I might have to end a little early today, because I gotta go celebrate with some friends and have a KBBQ party dinner. So, yay. Oops. Birthday dinner, my bad. So, some wonderful lovelies might whisk me away later today, and I might have to end early. But we're gonna try to get through 1, for sure. Icing on the cake for 2. Almost never do we get through 2, but I'll try. I'll try real hard. So yeah, go vote now while I'm yakking. And if we have something that has a winner, we'll go with this one. If we don't get any votes, we'll go with this one. But there's 4 options. All are censored. You're not allowed to see the main ones. But I was gonna say, there's some very obvious pictures. These are tracings. No boobs. Yeah, no boobs. At least, I don't know! YouTube might be fine with it. I'm pretty sure I've had some sort of genitalia on screen at least once. Not at all by choice. Proko did this to me, damn him. No, I love Proko. Please don't tell him I said that. Well, please tell him I want to collab with him at some point. But yes, these are not photos that I picked. These are pictures that were given to me. So you shut up. But yes, this is basically an anatomy tracing. So what we're going to be doing is just tracing the spine. We're not doing any fancy extracurriculars of what the whole entire vertebra look like. We're doing a snake. And that's it. And again, Sonic Mania. Fudge! Man, it gets me going. This is my second revisit for all of these lessons again. So if you basically want to see the rest of my journey all the way through those 5 years, again, you can go to my Facebook, you can go to my Patreon, you can see all of that, and it's all accessible to you for $3. Maybe $7, I forget. $7 I think is for everything, $3 is for the notes. I'm not positive, I forgot. But all of it is there for you if you want to. I don't want to lie to people. Point is, we're doing basically the 3 major landmarks, which is your skull, your rib cage, and your pelvis. And the thing that connects those 3 is your spine. So we're going to be doing a big old wiggly snake for this lady today. And whichever one wins is the one that we'll do today. So other than that, YouTube, do you allow me to set timers? I don't know if I can. I can start a poll. I guess I can, but it only lets me... Oh, I can add more than 3... Nope, only 3 options. No, I can add 2 more. Hang on. Alright, let's see. I can't show you all of them. Okay. Let's see. Which spine do you want today? Life or death. Let's go with 1. Sorry, typing around loudly. I would also hope that if you are here, you are welcome to do these assignments with me, and you will grow more if you do the homework with me rather than just watch me struggle. If you are able to and have the time to sit down and do these assignments, if you really want to grow as an artist, there is no shortcut. You got to do the work. You got to do it. So if you're just here to hang out and jive, I'm down for that. You can continue playing arcade games as well, all day long. But if you really want to improve your art, bring your homework assignments in early and we can talk about it. You can ask me questions. I'll go over everything as best I can. I also have a big old hefty anatomy software that I adore and I will use if we want to ask for other parts of the body. Again, I've tackled everything. Hands, legs, butt. I've talked about it all. I've not talked about anything but the legs on stream, but everything above that I've covered. So if you want help on anything, let me know. Let's see. Number 2. Sitting lady. I have caps lock on. Shucks. Let's do 2 more. There's also a lady rolling around like a Kirby. She's flopping around. We'll call this Kirby lady. And then back ball. That's a good name for it, right? Alright. Starting the poll! Go! I will let you guys decide which lady we tackle. Again, I cannot show you all of them all at once, but we have runner-up number 1! We got a dancing lady. Number... 2! We got a lady stretching. She's hanging out. 3. Kirby lady. Kirby ball. She's on the floor flopping around. And then number 4, back ball. Those are your options. Take a vote if you wish, otherwise I will pick one at random. Meanwhile, you have about a minute to let me finish this pancake. Cool. Okay. Already 1 answer is in. Again, get in here if you want me to do something you want. Because if you're a VOD watcher, you're not going to have any influence. So stop loafing and lurking and get in here so we can knowledge together. If you want. But I would like to ask everybody now, what's your Sunday like? There's plenty of things you could be doing and you're here. Thank you, but why? What brought you here to this day? Okay. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go deposit my plate. When I come back, we'll take another 30 seconds to decide, and then we'll see. Alright. So far, it seems like this is the one winning. We'll see what happens. Will the tides change? I'll be back. Also, real quick, I thought I would also share the other boy. Your Sunday has been so chill and awesome and joyous. You had cake an hour ago? Hell yeah! Oh my god, that sounds amazing. Wait, I want to talk about that cake, but right now I have a mission to show you my other son. One sec.
Boy. Hi, boy. Don't look at me. But I will. You're very handsome and cute. Oh! My buddy. This is Pepper. My bud. Living up in his palace and his castle. Very good, very good.
Alright. Did you see the pepper? Yeah. Ugh. I told you there were two. I have the power to teleport. Waha. Wahey! Alrighty. Do we have a winner? So far, one vote. Let's see. We're gonna have to end the poll in about 10-ish seconds. 5, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 1! And time! There's a lady. We got one vote, and I appreciate that single vote very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's do this. I'm gonna do this lady, and if somebody really demands that I do another one, if we have time, we'll see. But probably not. So, here's the question I like to ask. Are we doing the assignment, or are we watching me suffer? Answer me now, because I will probably take less time to explain and more time to do. I will talk it through as I go, but it would make it a lot awesomer if we are all doing this together, and then I can hopefully answer some questions. For example, do you have X-ray vision? Can you see? I know exactly what I'm looking at, but do you? It took a while, I trust. It didn't happen right away. But I think I can now confidently say, I think I see a rib cage right here. I see the makings of a pelvis going this way. Booty cheeks happen right there, and then the spine comes this way. The question is, do you see it? What's an assignment without any suffering? Yeah. Not all of it is suffering. Just a little bit of it. I would say for the most part, the journey was mostly pleasant. And when I got to the hands, and then I got to the feet, and my trauma furthered. Limbs, specifically the arms, broke me in half. There was a lot of suffering that happened there. But not all of it was unpleasant. A lot of it was very joyous and wonderful. I think that's the only reason I've done it this long. I wouldn't have continued if it wasn't. I might be a freak of nature who adores learning anatomy. It makes me so happy. And I'm one of those creepazoids on the street who, if you work out, I'm like, damn! Those calves, though. I'm not gonna say it out loud. At least, hopefully not. I'll look at you and just think about it in my mind palace, in my brainium. I like to think of the game of, wow, your body is quite sculpted. What do you do for a living? It's the artist brain! I'm a dancer too, so that doesn't help. More art. Visual and performing. So, I'm just like, I'm locked into muscle when I see it. I'm just like, oh my god, your biceps though. Yo. Cartoony. Ah. That's awesome though. And at the same time, I would say you don't really need to know a whole lot of anatomy if you're doing cartoons. It's more like if you want to accentuate certain parts. Like, for the bicep, you could just draw this as a ball. It'd probably be fine. But if you know where it goes, it probably wouldn't make sense if the ball lived right here in the middle of your elbow. You gotta know it's like a little higher than that. Then you're fine. No! Ah, no, I hope I'm not distracting you. I'm so sorry. You're good, you're good. 90K. That's impressive. I don't play games as much as I used to anymore. But I Tetris every once in a while. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon was my jam back in the day. Love me some Adventures of Sky and Floor and Red. Seeing Nagito come back in his full, disgusting, wonderful form in HD. I'm gonna get a VTuber of Nagito. I dropped a grape for Danganronpa's revisit. I'm here for that. Anyway. That's enough of that. Let's draw. Hopefully it won't take that long. I love Mystery Dungeon, and I'm so sad that I can't play any music from it because it's so good. It makes me sad. I love Mystery Dungeon so much. Oh my god. Not gonna lie. I was an avid Mystery Dungeon fan at the very beginning. I played all of the Pokemon Fire. I played, I think, Explorers of, what was it? Blue and Red Rescue Team. I played the red one on Game Boy and then blue on DS. And I saw a game, I think I saw footage, not a trailer, I saw footage of Explorers of Sky. But I didn't know it was a separate game. I was just like, is that a brand new, like, is that, before DLC was a thing, I was like, is that like a separate mode? Is that post-game? Whoa, that UI looks way different! But I can play as updated Pokemon? How do I get that part? And it blew my mind. Yeah. Still holds up as one of the best written Pokemon games. Fight me. Commissions? You do commissions? What kind of things? That's awesome. Mystery Dungeon Sonas. Yeah, it's weirdly it's making a comeback. A lot of people are starting to pick the game up now if they missed the train. All of us yelling in the back of the day. Our annoying friends are yelling at them like, this game still holds up, you better play it. Don't be scared of it because it's got different mechanics. It's still Pokemon and it's still great. Oh, hardcore gamers be like, but I can't, I don't understand, the rules aren't the same, so it's a bad game. No. Alright. Let us begin. Oh, very cool. I'm gonna have to check out your art. Wait a minute. I feel like, are you in the Discord? Are you so-and-so that I know does amazing Pac-Man art? You just have a different username? I just realized. I think I made the connection. Is that who I'm talking to right now? Your Discord username and your YouTube username are different, but I know your art is incredible. That's sick. That's sick. I just realized. Ooh. Give me that Oil Ocean Funky Town. Oh yes. Okay. Also, I might have to turn on my AC. It's warm in Cali. It is! I was right. I just had to make sure. Thank you. I was just gonna be like, are you a brand new friend? Oh wait, I know you. Boy, do I. You posted to the Gerson? You did. You did! And then you made an amazing Pac-Man art. And I was like, oh my god, why don't you have an animated series? Yes, Cartoon Network would love to hire you. Please. And I'll make very unrealistic, detailed art for your show. People were like, Crystal, you should make an animation or a comic. Here's the thing. I would love to, but I don't have any original ideas. That's why I'm a fan artist. I copy other people's ideas. I would have never guessed. Well, thank you so much for being here, friend. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Alright. Let's sketch a spine, shall we? This hopefully won't take 10 years because I know what I'm looking at now. Unless I want to be hella specific. Then we'll be in trouble. Let's see. I think we can maybe do 2. I think we can do 2. It should not take me, oh hi. Cheekage. It should not take me 10 years to get through 2. Shouldn't. Shouldn't. Let me just test something real quick. Hang on for a sec. Let me double check something. Okay, we're good. Alright, welcome back. I just had to make sure my censor boxes were not going to show anything. Cheekage? I'm going to put this on low opacity and I can type Bix! There we go. Wow. What brush do I want to use today? Ooh, let's do this with a blue. You hush your butt. I don't believe that. But at the same time, yeah, I would agree with you there. I do have animation somewhat skillage in the MoGraph department, as in keyframe animation, but for 2D, hand-drawn, I wish. And I honestly think I could do it, I just don't have the patience. Which is weird, considering it takes me 30 to 40 hours sometimes on a picture. I couldn't tell you. Drawing one really detailed picture, yes, brain is okay. 30,000 very simplified pictures over and over again.
Let's go grab a glass of water. And why don't you go wash your hands?
No. I don't want to turn that off. It's so funny. It just goes off right after I start streaming. My bad. Oh my god. Spring yard zone. Please tell me we can hear the jams. It was muted in the beginning. I'm so sorry for that. Alrighty. Ooh. This is juicy. Alrighty, so let's begin. I'm gonna break it down. Let's see. Do we know where the ribcage starts? Yeah, people look at me and they're like, how can you spend 30 hours on this, but you can't animate? I don't know! I couldn't tell you, but my brain won't let me. It truly doesn't. So I'm gonna make you guys help me figure this out. If you can tell where the ribcage starts, it starts usually at the base of the neck. So the traps, this is how you know you're ready to start teaching. If you can explain it, you can teach it. I am not there yet, but I'm gonna try. These traps connect. Ooh, I need to put that on multiply. That's real light. Let's see. Can you see? Dun, 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 dun. Why is it so dark? This is supposed to be dark. Oh, wait. Maybe that. No, that didn't do it. Oh. I know what I did. Oh my god, it slaps so hard. There we go. Alrighty, that's better. I was like, what's going on here? Alrighty. Let's see. Ocho. Yeah, that feels good. Okay. Well, we can see where the head starts. About meow. Right about meow. There's a skull. There's a cranium. And from there, we can start to build out a little bit more. Traps usually tell me where rib starts. Actually, it would be easier to show. Can I bring up my man? Here's a gentleman. There he is. Oh, he's scratchy. He's scratched up. Oh, I gotta dust you, man. You've been sitting around for too long. I'm sorry, guy. Oof. Getting rusty over here. Okay. So let me see. It's actually kind of hard to show with this model. It might actually be easier to open up my big old software. I think we'll have to do that. Let's see. So we can see what's underneath the surface. Because it'll make it a little easier to understand what we're looking at. I'm gonna make you look at the loading screen. Something went wrong? What? You're gonna make me sign in, aren't you? Don't you dare. You didn't. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Alright. This software is a little beefy. It's like $100 a month. Well, it's at the end of the year. $100 at the end of the year. I won't make you pay for this because I want to use it, but I would strongly suggest everyone get a chance to buy this software because it's great. It's wonderful. Non-sponsored. Okay. Give me that connective tissue. Show me the connection between my ribs. There we go. Oh, I don't need all of that. Some of that is unnecessary. I want these connected. My floating ribs should have a little something there. There we go. I don't know why it puts this weird gauze on it, but there we go. So let's see. We have a man. We also have press garden zone. What? I do have a... You're gonna make me buy it again, aren't you? How dare you? You're gonna make me sign in, aren't you? I swear to Moses, I am not signed in. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Something's off. I do have a subscription, last I checked. Pardon me, y'all. I gotta figure something out real quick. If I can't show you, I can't show you. I'll figure this out another time. But, poop! I thought I did. Show me. Meanwhile, I'm gonna let you jam out to these delicious vibes. Oh, it's good. Oh, I don't think I'll be able to show you today. I didn't have the software paid this month. What do you mean? Grr. Well, I guess I can't show you. I'm sorry. Well, that's annoying. Bungly butt. Alright, I'll have this hopefully figured out by next time, but for now, I cannot. Sorry about that. That's annoying and unfortunate. I'm gonna try one more time. We won't be able to look at H-Dizzle cheekage. I'm so sorry. I promised you 3D cheeks. Could not make that happen for you today. I'm so sorry. Start trial! Get the F out of here. I have a paid account, sir. No, but I don't want to go through the work of buying it right now. Wait, did I get it? Did I do it? I did it! Yay! I just had to relaunch it. Okay, we're good. Yay! I don't know why, I was tripping. Sorry about that. Software was a tripping hard. Don't scare me like that, sir. You're about to make me spend more money than I don't have. Come on now. Alright. So let's see. I'm gonna hide the leggy poos, because we don't need to see those right now. Here's a fun exercise. What do we need and what do we not need? No. Let's see. Do I have it? I don't have it saved. Oh, alrighty. Well, how about this? Let's make a complete man. Show me a perfect man. All the muscle. All the muscle. Oh, it's horrifying. Oh, I hate it. Alright. Where did our ribs go underneath all of that? Let's find out. Rins? Wow, wow. Oh dear. Let me see. Can you fade others? Ah, there we go. That's what I wanted. Yes, yes, sir. Okay. So now, getting a better look. It's still not quite clear, but we can kind of get x-ray vision now. Oh, they're gone. No, go back. Go back. Back, I say. You won't let me? Oh, there we go. Software's so finicky when it wants to be. Alrighty. Cool, cool. Show me. Oh my god! Oh, I hate that. This is basically what x-rays look like, just way less horrifying. Because it's you. We're not going to look at the face. That's trauma-inducing. We're going to look at the chest only. There's no beating hearts in here, so we're fine. But the point is, can you see the skeleton underneath all the muscleage? That's what we're here to do. So, underneath all of this, the rib cage really only starts at your shoulders. There's a perfect line, pretty much, like a straight line across from your shoulders to your rib cage. And then this beautiful rounded bit ends, and your obliques start. the side meat, your love handles, the big old donut ring around your waist. Some of us have a thicker one than others. It's all love, it's all wonderful. All the meat that comes right here connects into the big old bucket that is your pelvis. So, basically our job is to find all of this stuff underneath the surface without our x-ray vision. Some things that I like to look for when I'm analyzing, and it's not as obvious on this model because obviously I have a big old box hiding some valuable information. But there is a thing we like to call the Triangle of Venus, which tells you where the pelvis is. I'm going to, hold on, stay there, don't leave. Wow, 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 wow. I can't shrink this down, can I? Nope, I'm this size and you can't make me any smaller. Fine. Alright, goodbye, man. Oh. Wait a minute! Did yours join Sans and Papyrus with Gaster? Isn't it drifting in time and space somewhere? Did you know that humans have skeletons inside them? Then what are humans made of if it's not metal and magic? And bones? I couldn't tell you. Mostly water. Lots of really stinky red water. Alright. So here we go. Here's where the actual analysis hopefully starts. And I hope this is somewhat helpful. If we're like crystal shop and drop, I will. But I just want to make sure we all know what we're looking at. And their streams were all a lot quieter and I'm just doodling. That'll be next time when we're doing gesture. But for now, this is a tracing, and I want to make sure we're all understanding the same thing. Nobody cares if the teacher knows everything. I have so many teachers that are like, I know everything. Well, damn it, I don't give a damn. Tell me what you know. Oh my god. When did that even start? I didn't even know what that's from. Is that a Toy Story thing? I don't even know what that is. But every single where I go, Deltarune keeps coming back, and that is a thing that keeps popping up. I don't even know what it's from. Alright. I'm gonna make this a little bit easier to see. Let's do that. Yeah. Shining on me. The Triangle of Venus is essentially where the back of your pelvis is the most superficial against your skin. So, if you see, there literally is, your pelvis goes right to the edge. Most parts of your bodies are not that superficial. As you can see, your arms, the bones are just, you can't see them. Unless you break an arm, don't do that. But for the most part, this is a major landmark that we artists love to look at. So, you can kind of start to see it. The Triangle of Venus is literally the back of your pelvis, the pisses, not the aces, the anterior points, the posterior points. Please educate me. It came from Toby? That's what it... Oh. Toby is the meme lord, I should have known. Damn it. I should have known. I had no idea for the longest time. I was just like, where is this coming from? The Asgore thing as well. Asgore running over desks. I know that the internet started that mess, but I could not figure out what friend inside me was for the longest time. How dare Toby Fox. Okay. Thank you for context. I still don't care. But thank you. Okay. So let's see. You can't see it because there's a beautiful box where the butt crack goes. But if we follow this line of logic all the way down, from there, the spine usually ends right about there. And literally from there is where your cheeks happen. The split is literally where gluteus maximus starts. Boom, right there. You can't really see it because there's only muscle showing. Let's see. Yeah, there's all muscle here. Oh, and junk. Whoops. But usually the cheeks go a little lower than that because that's all fat, juicy fat that you're sitting on. Muscle ends a lot sooner. We all have some junk that we sit on. That's why it's so cushy down there. So let me fade that again. So let's see. It's 12 a.m. in the morning? I'm so sorry. I don't want anyone staying up and not sleeping for knowledge. Go learn this stuff later. Go get some sleep! Don't flood the Titanic, though. We need it to sail a little bit further before we crash into the glacier. But I hope you have a wonderful time Pac-Manning away on the morrow, and good luck on your high score. Thanks for knowledging with me, friend. Have a grape. Appreciate you, brother. slash sister slash theyther, all of the above. Have a wonderful night. Triangle of Venus. Literally where the tailbone connects to the back of your pelvis. You kind of see it? Boom, boom, boom. So from there, we can start to find out where our spine goes. And luckily from the back, it's very obvious. We can kind of see exactly where it is. We can literally just trace this beautiful line. And then we kind of lose it, and it's a little harder to see. But from there, that's our middle line. And that line actually comes from the depression of your spine. Because if you look, there's a lot of meat that sits on the side of your spine. So that hot dog sandwich, you're basically seeing muscle squeezing super tight on the side, like a hot dog. And the part that's depressed is the spine. So you're seeing basically all of that fat, juicy muscle, and it makes it a lot more easy to see. On some pictures, actually, I think on this one, the opposite is the case. Whoa, that's a very close-up. You can see that muscle is literally spreading and pushing that spine out, so you can see the superficial points literally up here. You can see it poking out through there. Kind of creepy, actually. And a lot of artists like to accentuate those parts of the body when you draw zombies and monsters and things, because it's real creepy. Anyway, so from there, then we start to lose the spine. But you have the skull to tell you where it ends. It literally ends right at the edge of the skull. Oh god, that's horrifying. Sorry, this is probably a horror stream now. I'm sorry, but I hope it's helpful. Don't look too look too hard at it. But yeah, this lovely line goes all the way to the top of the cranium and then cuts off right there at the edge. So, last but not least, we can see the line from our shoulders, boom, connecting these 2 points, literally from scapula to scapula, the depression in the muscle. That's where our shoulders are. And then from there, all of this is trap. Very, very easily common thought. Rib cage goes up here. It does not. That is muscle. Rib cage is probably a little bit lower down here, below the shoulder line. So make sure your rib cage is in line with your shoulders. I will find the rib cage in a moment. But from there, I'm going to go all the way up, find this beautiful line. You can even kind of see how it twists a little bit by following the twist of the traps and where the head is pointing. And that tells me most of what I need to know. There's my spine. Kinda. So now, oh, good song, but copyright. I don't know if this song is safe to listen to. Why do I have it on here if it's not safe? I'm going to just get rid of that, just to be safe. Anyway, you know what? Zelda. Sonic the Zelda. Sorry about that. Alrighty. Let's focus. I can calm down now. Sonic vibes were making me too hype. So, let's see. Let's find the ribcage, yeah? From there... Well, maybe it's not super obvious where the top of the ribcage is, but the bottom of it, you should be able to see it clear as day on this model. She is rather limber and thin, so it's pretty easy to see. The spine and the skeleton, much like the edge of the pelvis, right to the edge. Even on a very thicker person, if you have a little bit more girth, you're going to see more of that weight fall off the bone down here. But you should still see some rib cage. You might get a little bit of love handle and fat that hangs off the bottom of the sides over your serratus, but you're still going to get that rib cage, which should be pretty obvious. And if you look at it, it's an egg. It's literally an egg. So I'm going to find the base of my rib cage right there. Where's my brush? It's so light. No, I need that to be way darker. Let's try that again. There we go. I think I see a rib cage. Boop, right there. Something like that. And I'm going to trace this beautiful line from there all the way through. I'm going to find it through the skin and take it all the way up to the top. Now here's the hard part. Boom! Actually tells you a lot. It's not just flaggy skin. It's not just saggy sand. It's actually more than that. It tells me exactly where the front of my rib cage goes. This is usually where a boob would be. Even gentlemen, if you have chest pec, that's where it tells me I'm going. So I'm going to trace that line and find my egg. Because see, you can see, let's see, it goes underneath the shoulder, which if we look, we can see shoulder right here. Literally, it kind of tells you. Here's a bit of scapula right there. Actually, I think it goes, yeah, shoulder goes. We're not here for scapulas right now, but it is helpful to see where our rib cage is going. This one's not as obvious because the skin isn't nearly as sharp and depressed, but you can kind of see. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, oh, I just remembered. This is more a lesson for the shoulder, but this little divot you can see right here, this is technically scapula, but this is not the top of your scapula. There is a lot more that we'll learn when we get to the shoulders, but this depression you're seeing is actually traps. These are muscles that are cutting off the edge of your scapula. Your scapula actually goes way up here. And this is all the bone that connects to it and all of that fun stuff that breaks my brain in half that is very much harder to explain. But that should hopefully make it a little easier to find out where the rib cage goes. So from there, let's see, about there. Something like that. This is going to be a very rough and dirty kind of tracing just to show you what we're looking at, and then I'll do a cleaner one when I'm a little quieter. Usually things are not symmetrical, but for the most part you can kind of use one to tell you where the other is. Find the trap there. There's more shoulder that we can talk about, but for now, traps tell you a lot of where things go. So from there, I'm going to trace this lovely, luscious line. This concavity, you see? All of this pinching in skin, that's all of your meat getting sucked in. Your rib cage and your pelvis literally sucked in like that. So that's exactly where the edge of my rib cage is. Ends right there. And then I can see the top of the pelvis a little bit higher than the tailbone, right about there. Again, we're seeing these points, these two little dots. Your pelvis is actually up here. It comes up in a nice little round curve. Very, very helpful. So I'm going to use this as my pelvis line, and let's see, maybe this as my rib cage line. And you can kind of start to see how they come in. From there, that pinching of skin creates that beautiful, obvious tell of where my bones go, and I kind of just complete the egg from there. If my neck has to come out of my rib cage, literally, there's a hole in your rib cage that tells you where your neck lives. And if I can see my neck from here, I can start to find the edge of my rib cage. Something like that. And it would be angled forward in space. Again, the ribs go sloping down. So let's see. It'd be something like that, going away from us. Let's try. Hopefully this is somewhat helpful for some of us. Alright. There's our rib cage going out, away, and down. And then we just complete the line. There's our rib cage for the most part. Maybe it's not exactly one-to-one there, but it's pretty close. You can kind of start to see it. It does cave in a little bit more, but again, right at the edge is what we're looking at. And if we wanted to get even more detailed, you start to see how your ribs slope up. There's a little bit of a big old beautiful bridge that happens. And then in the front boob line, boop. If I'm looking at the front, I can start to see in between, using my breaths to draw. It's a very rough and done dirty version, but Yeah. I would say that is the start of our rib cage. And then you can get more detailed from there. Again, we're not really supposed to see the front of it, but the idea is to use these landmarks as placements. Okay, now let's find our pelvis. I can see it from here, but let's make it so we can all see it together. Your love handles. These lovely obliques, they tell me a lot. They tell me exactly where I land. If you can look, the oblique muscles, your abs in the front, literally fit inside this dome shape that is your pelvis. Big old bucket that your abs like sit in. Don't look at the junk. Don't look at it. So from there, I'm going to use my obliques, literally this little bump that you're seeing. That little bump, yoop, right here. That's the ridge where my pelvis starts. Right there. You can kind of see where that bump happens. And then your leg starts from there. Those are separate muscles, but tensor fascia latae, your pocket muscle, and then your quads start from there. Same thing on this side. Bump, booty, leg muscles, all of this. So that first ridge is what we're looking for. That first little bump below the spine tells me where my pelvis sits. So let's find it. Triangle of Venus right there. I'm going to use that as my landmark to come a little higher. I might adjust my line a little bit because it's a little bit off. But from there, I'm going to dig into the butt. Let's find this line. Literally connect the dots sometimes. That's what helps me. And then again, we have to remember, you're drawing a bucket, not a flat plane. A lot of people like to use squares. I like to use cubes and cylinders because it helps me find the full placement of the body. But if I'm going to draw this angle, here's where the front of my pelvis sits. So it would be, let's see. I'm going to start over on this side. Let's see what happens if I do this. Might be easier to just start over. Sometimes you just gotta try again. Where's the edge of my ridge? Right there. It'd be a little bit more foreshortened because we're looking at it directly from the back, but she's turning away from us. And then we can use that as my landmark to draw the rest of it. Again, this is a bucket going forward in space. Let's see if I can illustrate that a little better. This is really good practice for me too. Bump, 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 tailbone right there. Okay. So if I'm literally looking at my bucket, again, it's going to be kind of hard to see it this way. Let's see. If we obey the rules of perspective, these lines have to converge at some point. So if I draw a line, each time I draw a line, it gets a little more angled. So when I get all the way over here, it'd be like, let's see, it's not that angled, but about there, perhaps. Let's see. Trace these beautiful shadows down to find my bucket. Your bucket starts up tall. It's a big old coffee cup that starts big and gets a little gradually smaller as you get down. And again, we can't really see the details, but at the end of the day, if you can find your tailbone, you can find the rest of the pelvis. I'm actually looking at a reference that shows me the whole picture, so it might be a little bit easier to illustrate. Let me see. Where is she? And I just realized this is mirrored. She's actually going this way. Alright. Let's see. Following these lines. Again, I can't show you, but I can at least hopefully infer what's there. Big question mark if we actually get to do the butt lesson on stream. Probs not. We'll see. Find that beautiful through line. There's my spine. And go straight through. Alright. That should be enough. and the pelvis ends right at the cheek base. So, well, actually, no. Cheeks? Where are my cheeks? Haha, what a sentence. They end a little lower than the crack, as far as I know. A little bit. So if this is where my cheekage starts, right at the tailbone, this would be about where my pelvis finishes. About there. Follow the lines of perspective. They are converging ever so slightly together. Drawing this box the same way as I drew the other boxes. Let's see if we can make that clear. And connect the dots. Okay. Women do have wider pelvises than men. I'm not accurate, I'm not positive. This is a perfect version, but again, nothing is perfect. This is my best shot. You're allowed to correct me all day long. So we got something like that. Alright. I am very rusty on the pelvis. I gotta revisit a lot of it. But I think for the most part, that's the goal. That's why you do these lessons, is to figure it out. Sometimes you gotta talk it through out loud, like I'm doing. It's not gonna be perfect the first time you do it. But I think you start to find how you find your footing as you go. Oops, let me get rid of this. Cool. So again, the goal is to find the spine. Not all this extra stuff. But you do need to use the rest of this extra stuff to find the spine. You need to know where your ribcage goes, you need to know where your pelvis goes, you need to know where the head sits, and you can start to find the rest of it. And it makes it a little bit easier to sculpt the body from there. There is so much more I could talk about, as in where bones start and finish. Like the leg bone literally starts at the edge and goes in towards the center. So wonky and weird, but awesome. So your leg bone would start out here, and then you can start to see from there, these little lines kind of tell you where it ends. That would also imply where the side of my pelvis sits. Acetabulum right there. Big old ball and socket joint right there, the hip bone. Something like that. Something like that. Again, we're not doing the legs, but it does help sometimes. I think that's all I can talk about. Let's clean this puppy up. Unless there's questions, I'm going to progress forward. Again, please stop me if I'm moving too quickly. Or if you have a correction for me, because guess what? Kiana's not perfect. Crystal's gonna make mistakes. So in the meantime, let's find my head. I think we can hide this now. Thank you very much, sir. Loomis method. Big old ponytail up here. All of this beautiful Brian up here. Ponytail does not count as part of the head. Loomis head right there. Trace the jawline. Find the circle where the ear sits in. Ear sits in the lower third quadrant. Yeah. And this line just kind of tells me where the jaw is. Hairline, eye line, nose line. And all of that is my head. Cool. Starting to see it a little bit. Starting to find her. She's coming through. I'm going to make her a little lighter so I can see my work a bit better. Let's see. We might have time for a second demo. Second demo, I'll be a little quieter. Alright. Main objective was to find the spine, so let's do that. Again, it's a bucket. It would be circular. I'll clean that up real quick before we add the spine in. rounded shapes for a pelvis. Let's see, can she do it? Ellipses are still wonky and weird to me. Finding my box from in there. Again, this was a very quick and dirty rush job. Might be a little more detailed on the next one. Turns out I talk better. I draw better when I'm not talking. But it's still helpful to help explain it. I'm learning too. Pelvis might actually sit a little lower now that I think about it. This just feels too narrow. Women's pelvises are very thin and wider, but it wouldn't be this thin. A little bit more heft to it. And that feels better. Otherwise the structure is too flimsy, too weak. Bones have nothing to work with. We're not talking about pelvises yet, so I'll leave this here. Let's just draw the bottom of the ellipse. Very quick and dirty, very brusque brush. Now looking at it, this is supposed to go right to the edge, isn't it? Micro adjust as much as you gotta. The edge of my ellipse goes a little bit wider. You can start to see all the ways that it can go wrong when you're not very familiar with perspective. That's why I'm so grateful. This course made me better at perspective. I don't like it, but it's, you kind of need to know how to do it if you're going to draw anything in the body, anything in space. But it's not as hard as you think at first. There's a lot of cheats that you can do to keep it simple, and then you can make it really extra fancy later. Ooh, it's an Epona. There we go. Now I can start to see. Now I'll show you. Hopefully that's a little bit clearer to look at. Alright. The coup de grace, the coup de resistance. We're here to draw mainly a spine. Big ol' egg. Cross contours tell me exactly what the thing is. Helps me see it and realize it in 3D space. Okay. I think we can start to put a spine in here. Which is why we're all here, right? Yeah, now looking at it, if my guess is correct where the edge of this is, I may be off because the more I look at it, your rib cage and your pelvis don't usually touch. They can get close, but that's a very painful situation. Really looking at it, that's gonna hurt. So now if I'm gonna be honest with myself, I might have drawn the rib cage a bit too far. Or what tends to happen is your rib cage doesn't exactly go that far down, but it can go deep. So it might dip into, literally, like if your rib cage and your bucket are like this, the rib cage tilts so much in a way that it goes inside of it. It may not be that deep though. In this situation, I think the skin pinching is literally telling me it ends right here, and I drew it too big. But then I don't know, because this is the edge of my rib cage, and if I trace that line, I'm still getting some rib cage. It probably won't go that deep, but let's see. No, I think that's right. Feel free to correct me in the comments if you did this lesson yourself or you're watching Proko's correction video. I am just doing a guess. Let's see. What did I do the first time? I had them further apart. But this is without the lesson showing. And I'm already looking at that jaw. Holy crap, it's a long jaw. You know what's a good test? Sometimes you just gotta put the model in your own position and see it. If I were to do that actual position, where do you feel it? The edge of your ribs is not where you feel it. That's not the edge of your ribs, but that's the superficial part. Also, I needed that stretch. Oh, that was nice. Ugh. Oh, sorry, Momo. There's a foot. I brushed the mochi food. My bad. I'm gonna take a guess and say this is a little too deep, a little too high. I might have drawn this too high. Let's try again. Sometimes it helps to try again. You know for a fact that's where it is. It's right there. And we follow that egg. You kind of see the base of it. Trace that line. We still kind of get there. In this case, it's not exactly very clear where the edge of the other side of the ribcage is, which is, it's tricky. You kind of have to put on X-ray vision to see it. But I would say about there is where the edge of this side of the ribcage is. And finding the other side, you just look at the top of the shoulders. This line usually is in the same plane as your ribcage. So I think I drew this off a bit. I'm sorry, honey. Oh, floppy baby. Oh, excuse me. Oh, the mochi kisses my foot. Oh, I'm being blessed by the mochi. Oh, thank you, honey. Thank you, thank you. Okay. I'm literally figuring this out in real time as I'm talking it through. It does help. Sometimes you gotta just try again. So let's see, shoulder line. And again, I'm looking at the divot of muscle right here. Usually muscle divots is where bone sits. So right here, this nice highlight shine is where my shoulders are. And I'm gonna find that same angle a little bit lower from here. And it would be foreshortened a hair. So yeah, it would be about there. It's probably a little bit, it ends a little sooner. As in, it curves in, so you still get that edge, but yeah, it would be about there, about that deep. Oh, Moch! I didn't pull up the camera in time, but I want you to imagine baby girl London Bridge all over my foot. She tipped right over. Keel haul it all. There's a baby. Can I have my foot back, honey? No? Oh, gee. Oh, roly poly baby. You're awake. Oh, hi. Mom's feet. Oh, paradise. Oh! Bye, Mama. Ah, thank you. Cat break for all this math and science and brain. Okay. What's that? What'd you say? You done talking? No. I love you too much. Okay. Let's see. Middle of my ribs, right there. Literally, the spine is the middle of your ribs. So from there, it has to curve up. Opposite angle would be the front of my rib cage. Back of the rib cage, probably not about there, but a little bit of a wider hole for the neckline. About there. From there, I'm gonna find the ribs. Something like that. Other side is much easier to see, which is why it's a good challenge. As we maneuver through the lost woods, I'm starting to see it. And again, it's not as sharp of a curve, but I like to use straights because it makes it easier. Curves and straights are also a good combination for contrast as well. Now I'm just rambling. I'm sorry, chat. I said I'd be quiet, but for the second demo I will be. Alright, so now here's my conundrum. Here's my rib cage. I feel pretty confident of where that is in space, but this doesn't line up. If we have to have this in the middle of my rib cage, this no longer works. Unless literally right on the line. Though I don't think that would be the case. It has to be right in the middle. So that's why I'm really tricked by this. Excuse me. But what I would say is, at the end of the day, when you get stuck and you have no idea what to do, you look at the answer. But you have to try first. Rocket science. If you don't know what to do, don't cheat first. Look at the answer after you try it. And then once you got stumped, you're unstumped and you fix it by figuring it out. I can't talk, I'm rambling. Point is, look at the answer after you've tried it first. Most of us should attempt that. So now, I'm going to pull out the homework assignment that he offers. And I'm only going to show the bottom of the PDF, which is the answer usually. Okay, there we go. I'm not showing you the rest of the PDF, but he offers the answers for the most part. Here we go. So, we're looking at this guy. The way he drew it, the ribcage is a little bit smaller. Is the answer for the other ones. But, yeah, he has the edge of the ribcage going right up to the line, midpoint right there. So it would be a little bit wider at the base. Oh, as a matter of fact, it might actually make it easier to see if you're looking at, ooh, I think I see what he did here. This crunchy crevice is the edge of the rib cage. And this bunched up skin, literally there it is, the edge of the rib cage goes right there. And I guess I drew it too deep, it would end a little higher. Because here's the boob sticking out. This all feels right, and it would probably just, you turn in a little sooner. So essentially what I'm seeing is he drew this curve as this, oops, no. This being the bottom of the pelvis, continuing that line. Coming in to find the spine. That could be it. It really is kind of hard to tell without actually having the model physically in front of us, but I would assume, at least the way Proko approached it, something like that. This little divot is just the space where the spine fits. So let's see, how does that fit? Because now that feels lopsided, that doesn't fit, does it? It's too short. Told you I would make mistakes, chat. That's how we learn. Let's see. Very obvious rib right here. Very clear rib. And then this is the stretch of skin that's pulling on the base of the rib cage. So maybe he is like here. It's a little bit higher up. Let's see. I think I drew my rib cage a little too deep. Oh no. No, I didn't. I think that's fine. Rib cage ends there, slopes down. This is all oblique. Same as up here. It just kind of comes in sharper, and then this is just the ribcage dipping back out into space. I'm really not sure. I'm gonna go on a limb and say I don't know. This was supposed to be a revisit to the lesson. What did I do? Now I'm questioning everything. This I'm already looking at isn't right. Unless... Now hold on a second. Maybe I was onto something. I mean, that jaw is ridiculously long. That's not right. But this feels better. And then it would dip out like so. Oh, okay. Show me the answer one more time. Yeah. I see what he did. Hang on. Oh, hello? Oh, there we go. I think this is correct. But looking at how we get here without it coming in to hit the pelvis somehow, unless I drew the pelvis too high, which I don't think so, because we have to have some sort of, yeah, this is where our oblique starts. Bridge of Venus right there. So no, I think we're good. Pelvis I feel confident about. It's the ribcage that's throwing me off, even though this isn't a ribcage lesson. Point is to do these lessons and then come back after you've finished them and try again. That's why we're doing this revisit. It's very helpful. I think what I could do, oops, continue this line and do something like that, like how I had it in the first time I did this. Though that doesn't feel very scientific and that doesn't fit anymore. No. For a fact, I know this is at least where this side of the rib cage ends. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's a little bit higher than that. We might be able to use the front of it to find it. Just making a wild assumption. I'm gonna follow this line through here. Chase the line through my egg. Oh no, wait a minute. I gotta look at the answer again. Cause yeah, ribcage is supposed to go through there. That ain't right. Spine is the last part we'll add because I just want to make sure we are confident about every other placement. Snaky, 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 snaky. Though I see where also I made another error. The shoulder line, excuse me, though that's where the ribcage start, is not always the same angle because your scapula move. They slide along your ribcage. Literally figuring this out in real time. This arm is raised, so it's literally pulling this scapula up away from the ribcage, whereas this one's bent and coming down. So this doesn't always tell you the answer. Oops, I drew the same thing. I'm just using these to see. We're gonna make them more clear later. Though I'm not gonna have the scapula, that's just a bonus thing. So it may not be actually a good idea to trust this shoulder line. Talking it through really did help me feel like a fool. I do know I messed up, haha. And I'm happy about that fact. Mistakes are great. We love mistakes here. No one's 100% accurate all the time. For the most part, this starts and finishes in the right place. This meets with somewhat part of this front of the rib cage. However, as we get down here, it gets lost, which is where I'm getting stuck. But at the end of the day, this is a spine lesson. I say we finish this later. That is not accurate, looking at it now, but I tried my best. That's all we can do, right? Because now, looking at this, all things just mess me up. But we did land in about a similar place. We were about the same place, just a little bit off. And here I was so confident, thinking I found it. I already know what I'm looking at. Insert foot in grape in mouth. Okay, I could stare at this all day. Let's move on. We said we did 2. I'm gonna try to do at least 2. I'm gonna try. Though it's 6 o'clock sharp, we gotta go. Because I got somewhere to be. Somewhere to party. Alright. Hopefully, the spine is the easiest thing to see. Good crack. Sorry. Oh, Sidon! That's the name of my friend's car. We're all big Simpson weebs. Getting rid of all this, let's just find our ribs. Let's find our spine. Trust this midline. Find the center of the head and then slope it down to meet the center of the shoulders. Everything's a snake, so find that through line. Nice S-curve. And it's pretty straightforward from here. Thoracic curves out, even though you can't really see it, but it does curve out to come back in to meet the rest of the lumbar and then the sacral triangle at the end. So now if we put a bit of an outline on it, and that's muscle, not spine. Wait, I drew a line on the wrong part of the body. Alright, I'll make that line thicker and deeper. A little more obvious. Let's find the top plane of our spine. There's the starting ellipse. Snake gets gradually wider as it gets to the base. We land with it somewhere near the edge width of our tailbone. Cheating. Okay. Not exactly 1-to-1, but it's something like that. Actually, looking at it now, I'm gonna see more of this top plane on this side. There we are. That's a bit better. Do it the authentic way. Do it the hard way. No cheating. So saith Sai. No fancy vertebra lines here, just a big old snake. Last but not least, circles to tell me where things are. Here's the top. Let's see. Line would come in a bit more here. Midline. You'll see my reason for an adjustment in a second. It may work, it may not. I just want to try it. Here I thought today would be a shorter stream. I big lied. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I didn't mean to kick your body. That was an accident. I kicked the baby by accident. I'm sorry. That's what happens when you live at my feet, honey. My feet move. I'm glad you like my foot stink, but I'm sorry. Like I'm trying to nap, Mom. Alright. That is a very ugly wiggly line spine, but it does kinda work. Dude, I'm realizing this second visit is actually going worse. This revisit is not the bee's knees. Oh, bless you, honey. Excuse you. I could do a lot more to clean this up and make this very fancy and unnecessarily take 3,000 more years of your time. But I think the gist of it is we got the idea, we found the spine, finding the midline of that and then going through and actually finding the curvature of the spine. And then the little, no, I'll clean it up. It bothers me so. Okay, hang on. I'm just gonna... I know, I'm sorry. I hear you yelling at me now, chat. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. But I have confidence the second attempt is always the best one. Sometimes you just gotta try again. Okay. Here's my second attempt at drawing the spine. I think it'll go a lot better this time. Because I have the stabilizer on my spine. My spide. I'm using a different brush now. I really want to get that silky smooth curving line. It's not going to be perfect, but I want to try. Nothing ever is. How many times till I get it right? How many undos? Whoop, that's pretty close. That's a pretty close. Okay, what have we got? Have Zora's domain. And the power of cheating. Whoa! I didn't know I could do that. Oh, I made a smart layer. Cool. Control B apparently makes a brand new layer with the thing you have selected. I did not know that. First eye anyway. Very cool. Actually, removing my midline does make it a little easier to see. Okay. With total confidence, I think I can say that's a spine. Now, the thing we're all here for, the circles at the bottom. Let's at least find that. Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me exactly where all of the balls live. In the spine. You dirty thinkers. And usually the connection of the tailbone is, for me at least, the hardest part. Following this curve. It's not exactly a hard and fast rule, but I like to break up the tailbone into 3 little curvy snake segments. Just to give us a better idea and understanding of your knowledge and perspective. To see that was cemented with little rubber lines. Rubberman lines. Important to remember the spine. it does gradually get less curvy at the top and more curvy at the bottom. Head, ribs. Let's see. Cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral. So this line is going to be different than this line. We're looking at cross contours. Because this is coming out at a convex angle.
It's 4:45 p.m. Time to start wrapping up your workday and plan for dinner.
Google, how dare you? You said I should stop? I actually agree. Very soon, I think I will have to. I'm a big liar. I know I said I would probably do two, but I don't know if I'm going to get to that now because I'm a liar. I'm a liar and a fibber. We'll see how I feel. But my back is starting to get a little hangry. Plus, I don't want to keep going if it means that you sit through me being very boring for the rest of the stream. But maybe that's what you're here for. You don't want me talking. I don't mind. I understand. If you prefer me being quiet, I can do that. These ellipses are going the wrong way, I just realized. Oh. It's not too hard to fix though, thankfully. The thing with tracings, you can't fix that. You can't do any artistic licenses of what's correct and what's not. What you see is what you get. It's just there. There's no adjustments, it's just there. Alright, sorry, this ended up taking so much longer than I had planned. So hopefully you can kind of start to see. Oh man, I'm rushing this now. It's a lot easier to do accurate drawings when you're not talking. That'll have to do. Again, that ribcage feels off to me, but I think that's as good as we got. Oh my god, spoilers for the next picture, which is real fun. Oh, let me tell you. Now looking at it, I think this chin is a little bit higher up. Ended up drawing the same thing I saw before. I guess I did the exact same thing as last time, didn't I? Maybe a little bit better on the pelvis, but the rib cage is throwing me off. However, again, I am not the teacher. I am a student attempting this for a second time. This feels okay. Not correct, but passable for now. So, oops. What we did last time. Oh, excuse me. I always have this reversed. My bad. It says time to stand up for my watch. I get it. I feel much better about this pelvis though, looking at it. Even though it's a little bit off, freeform pelvis. And then compared to his study, which is probably more anatomically correct, I feel good about mine. Not perfect, but I feel good about it. Oh, sorry! I keep putting the wrong one. Okay. Again, I'm looking at this with the cheeks covered. That's hindering my ability. By myself, I would say this is a little bit more of a steeper angle. The way you see how we did it here. It's a lot bigger of an ellipse than what I have. But I'm working with a handicap, so I feel pretty okay. Alright. Top. I'm gonna say take a 2-minute, 2-minute, 1 to 2 minute break. And we will reassess when I come back. I may revisit the rest, I may not. But for now, I feel good about that. Let's see. The only other one I was thinking was this one's pretty obvious. You can kind of see. I say obvious in hindsight as I don't get them right, but pelvis right there. Rib cage is literally going up that way. Spine is a long circle. The rest is another one that's pretty self-explanatory. Rib cage is much easier to see on this one because you can see the front of the model, and the spine goes pretty close to the curve of the body. Pelvis is going down in space a little bit. The only one that's a little tricky that I think people would have trouble on, if I'm going to demonstrate some of the harder ones, is this one. Rib cage, you can see the entrance of the neck. Follow that line of thought through this space, but you lose a lot of information as she's on her side, and how that connection comes from there to this pelvis, which you can kind of see the makings of right there. You can't see both legs, but you can infer. So I don't think we'll get to it today, but I'll at least try to trace the beginnings of what this tracing could look like. A clean version? Nah, I'm done for that. I am tired and my back is starting to hurt. But I think we'll take a couple minutes to recalibrate, rest our eyes, look at something far away for a little bit, and then come back. And if you want to try this second one with me, you are welcome to do it. I'm going to do a brief run through and very lightly trace what it could be, and then you can do the rest on your own. So we still meet the quota of me doing 2, and I didn't lie. So, excuse me. BRB chat, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go look at something for a minute, and I'll be on the other side of the screen for a few minutes. Take a chance to take a break and get some water. BRB. Alright, I'm back, chat. Sorry for the break. Thank you very much for your patience. I hope you got some water. I hope you got a chance to go to the bathroom and pet a cat or pet a dog or pet a human. Whatever you had to do for the day. So really quickly, what I was going to say, I think I'm going to continue, but what I would like to do, the whole purpose of this revisit, the whole point behind this Proko revisit, yes, this is a review for me to remember a lot of the anatomy in the very beginning stages, because I started this journey, again, 5 years ago, but this is less a review for me and more of a revisit and hopefully, or I'm sorry, a learning opportunity for you guys to hopefully ask questions and really figure out a lot of this stuff. And I think the best way I can serve you, at least in these beginning stages, what I really would like to do, maybe not yet, but eventually, the whole point of this revisit is to review some things for me, and it doesn't make sense for me to go through all of this again when I've already done a lot of the assignments. So what I would like to do, at least at some point, is to turn the model around. And what I mean by that is, here's the picture we're given. Can I draw the backside of this picture from imagination? Which is gonna suck. But it really does challenge your brain to start thinking three-dimensionally and not necessarily copy what you see, but infer from the information given, how can you flip this model around now that I've been equipped with all of these muscles and bones and I kind of understand the placement of things. I want to challenge myself to really start to see the other side of the camera. And that's going to be really challenging, but hopefully a fun experience for you guys, not just to watch me suffer, but to give everyone another perspective. And that's why we're doing the 3D models as well as having all of these opportunities to discuss some of these things, because again, this is a revisit for my brain to better understand this material. I love anatomy. I truly, truly do. It makes me so giddy and excited. But now that I don't really have anything new to learn anymore, at least right now, until we get to animal anatomy, can't wait to finally learn how to draw my cats. Until we get to that, I gotta have some fun. So, not yet, because we're still in these very rudimentary beginning lessons. I think once we enter the torso proper, like we start building muscle and doing more than just tracings, gesture-wise, I'm gonna try that. Maybe in the 3rd or 4th lesson, after we've kind of warmed up a bit and remembered how to do some of this stuff. And if you guys want questions on that, we'll do the regular tracing and maybe another one where we flip it around. But specifically, a pose like this is very difficult. And I'm a little scared, I'll be honest. So the only way to take out the fear is to actually normalize it and do it over and over again, right? A lot of the body was very scary and I was terrified halfway through hands. And I can kind of draw hands now, somewhat. Not well, mind you, but I can kind of draw hands. So anyway, I think maybe once we get past some of the more major landmarks of the body, we'll attempt that for a gesture next time. Because there are some juicy gesture pictures in here, let me tell you. You already saw one of them. And I think when we get to it, we know which one we're going to do, because I'm already looking at it and I'm like, holy smokes. Holy crap, Batman. I'm not even going to show you yet. You have to come next week to see it. Although, if you were paying attention, you probably saw a few frames of it. You can try to find it if you want. But we'll do that next time. And we'll carry on from here. It'll be just a regular, quieter stream where I'm just going to be doodling and hopefully I'll still be explaining a little bit, but I'll talk less going forward. And for the following streams, again, just to give you guys an introductory base as to how I find gesture, how I find the bones underneath the skin. Even though I literally for the last hour was kind of questioning what I found. I'm like, I don't even know if this is right, but I tried. Again, I'm working with a sensor box on top of this. This is not as hard without the box. So when you're looking at the pictures as is, you have a little more information than I do. So anyway, I just thought I would preface that, and I'm going to get back to it. But I'm probably going to start wrapping soon because I got to go at about 6 o'clock, and I want to be ready by 5:30. So we're going to just do a quick flyby of all of the major things to look for, and then you can find the rest of it yourself. So here we go. Again, Proko does this properly. He explains everything. He has a demo video where he explains how he does this. I'm just offering another version because I already did this course, and I want to try it again. So let's see. But yeah, that's going to be really interesting. How am I going to break my brain trying to do some of these poses in reverse? Holy crap. Alright, let's start with a little bit higher opacity. This is going to be a very rushed, very ugly version, not nearly as clean as the last one, which even wasn't perfect, but we tried. So, let's see. I hope you guys are enjoying the Zelda jazz, by the way. Hopefully you can hear it. It may be a little quiet, but I don't want it to overpower me too much. Okay, let's see. Right away, the clavicle, this lovely line right here of bone connecting to my shoulders, kind of tells me where my rib cage is because your clavicle sits right on top of your rib cage. Again, let me pull out my guy. Horrifying Beast X-Ray Man is back. So sorry. But you can literally see where these literally, like, I think Proko explains them as handlebars, bike handlebars. Don't take it like that. Take it how you will. But it literally wraps around your your rib cage just like your scapula do. Your scapula are very similar, just from the back. It's a little bit more of a plain, and in the front they're a little more like a ka-chink bike. So they wrap around like a lovely little egg sac, just like the front of your rib cage. Also, I'm sorry for my words. My English isn't very good. As in, I speak English, it's my first language, but I suck at saying words. I just don't talk to people, really. So, I'm sorry for my word choices in advance. But yeah, so clavicle right here literally frames the hole where your neck kind of comes in. So, I'm looking at that to find the start of my rib cage. Boom. And then it's going to literally drift down. You can kind of even see the makings of the ribs here. As you get up higher underneath all of this big old fat, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes, but a lot of these lines down here, it's a combination of serratus muscles literally following that path of your ribs, as well as the lower ribs that are a bit more visible. So once you get past the, I forget exactly which muscle, which rib number it is, but yeah, serratus, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They even go higher than that. 6, 7. They frame all the way down. If I were to hide the traps. Oops. Excuse me. Can you please? There we go. Yeah, the serratus goes underneath that. So literally, if I hide the pec too, all of these lovely muscles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. So about there. Serratus muscle. Give me the rib cage again. Somewhere in there. Find it. Find it. Tap to the beat. Because I don't want to go all the way through the work of finding my ribs. They're there. Okay. Ah, no! Give me ribs. Give me ribs, 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 give me ribs. Ah, there we go. Delicious, meaty ribs. So here we go. It's not very easy to see them, but you can kind of see right about there. Serratus muscle ends at the, let's see, 3rd rib down. So if we use that, you can start to see the makings of the last 3 ribs, maybe 4, because all of this is covered by pec. So about here. Ribs start up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th rib. That's right. The 5th rib down is when you can start to see them. Serratus muscle comes in a little earlier than that, and then you can start to see your actual ribs. So coming from here, she's not exactly buff enough that you could see serratus muscle, but you can see she's lean enough that her ribs start to poke out, and we're starting to see the bottom of her ribs. Probably the last few floating ribs right here. So that would tell me exactly where the rib cage ends. Swoopy. Right about there. And then all of this deliciousness is oblique. These beautiful, juicy love handle muscles. Hello, there we go. Got stuck in the goop for a second there. Yeah. Oblique, all of this. Give me a nice big red. Juicy red. Okay. Very quick and dirty, but oblique. Hello? Where's my... There we go. Gosh, sub it. Alright. Give me that oblique. It's coming from the back of the ribs. Literally, oblique starts in the very back. You can see it hikes all the way up. Back here. And that tells me where my pelvis sits. Right here. Oblique and pelvis are right hand in hand, so if I find my oblique, I should be able to find the edge of my pelvis. This is a skin fold. Wow, she's really thin. Oblique kind of comes in and spreads out amongst here. So all of this is juicy love handle, but kind of spreads out like that. And then you start to see your lower abs, which also tell you where the pelvis is. So this is the bottom of the bucket. Something like that. You can't see the ace's points because she's on her front. She's hiding them. So you can kind of use a little bit of a bench marker where the edge of her stomach sits is where you would start to find those points to put the pelvis in. So it would be somewhere over here. And then that bucket curves over here. Kind of can find it there. So from there, I'm literally seeing, ooh, there we go. Connect the dots. Might go a little further than that, because perspective tells me so. Again, this is a very quick and dirty, rushed job of a pelvis, but it would probably be around there somewhere. Looking at it again, I can't quite see, but right underneath this block is a bunch of boobs, and it would probably be right there, something like that. So I'm less worried exactly where the pelvis ends. I'm more so worried and care more about where the edge of it is, because that tells me where my spine is. And from there I can trace it down there and find the rest of my bucket. Inside a house. Whoa! Zooming in on that. My bad. Move this down because I can't see what I'm doing. Let's see. I'm gonna follow this lovely line of where her hip is. This crease is not what we're looking at, but it's kind of that area where the skin folds are or where the bones are. So I'm gonna say about there is where our ace's point is, and the angle I'm looking at is about there. So I'm gonna use that angle to find the rest of my pelvis. Again, the nice thing about having hidden details, you don't have to be nearly as exact to find everything. So long as you can see the light major landmarks, that's enough usually. Base of my bucket is about the same as that. A third down. Be a little bit smaller than that. less worried about perfect ellipses and just trying to find a rough and dirty version of it. I'm gonna get this abomination off screen. So sorry. Finding the base tells me where the edge of my bucket sits. Again, very rushed, quick and dirty pelvis. But there you go. Something like that. Alright, from there, I think... There we go, that already looks better. I can see the start of the spine, but I have no idea where my ribcage is because I'm really not given a whole lot of information to work with. However, just know that it's going back in space. It's getting foreshortened, so it would be along those lines. Starts out real big and then gets real small as we get near the edge of it. Something like that. Alright. From there, I'm gonna see the back of the spine. Literally from her throat. From this beautiful, oh, I forget what these muscles are called. The neck muscles that pop out when you turn your head. Oh, I forget. Mastoidus or something, some fancy name. This point right here literally is gonna be the edge of her throat. And that tells me kind of from there an angle to find the edge of her back. So it'd be around there. And because she's curving, the spine still is going to curve a little bit, but it's not going to be as obvious. You'll see a slight curve, and then just kind of find that tracing along the edge of the rib cage, the edge of the back of the body, and then find the back of the pelvis. And there you have the makings of a spine. Quick and dirty, quick and dirty. So it's kind of hard to see everything, but I will try to get a rib, what's it called? Let's see if we can't find a tailbone in here real quick. Tailbone kind of curves a little bit. It starts a little bit lower in the back of the pelvis, starts a little bit more curved. It's like at a 45-degree angle. Following these same lines that I made earlier. Helping me find the perspective. Yeah. Those major landmarks, they don't move, they don't twist. These body parts can individually move other parts of the body. This torso is twisting as I get to the back, twisting all the muscles in between it, but the bones don't change, they don't twist. Except for your arm. There's certain joints that can move and stuff, but they don't twist usually. Once they're there, they're locked in place. So there's my tailbone. Probably wouldn't finish that quick. It would be a little higher. Again, hard to see from this angle, but that's kind of where we are. About there. Yeah! Alright. That's a really rushed and ugly looking spine. But it's kinda there. As long as you can kinda see it. Your job is to do the full assignment, of course. I already did, and I'm gotta go. If I didn't have to rush, I'm sorry, I would probably stick around and clean it up. But I hope that was at least somewhat of a helpful start or introduction to finding the spine and tracings. Again, this fancy software is called Complete Anatomy. I like it very much, but it is rather expensive, so I don't want to make anybody pay for it. Just come to class and learn it with me. There is a fire alarm going off in the background. I hope that's not too loud. Somebody stopped it. Thank you. Perfect. So without further ado, I just want to say again, thank you to anybody who popped into my streams on this day. Thank you so much for anybody who's found me along the way. If there's any questions you have at all, I'm your anatomy buddy to help you figure out anything in the human body. I am still a student myself, so we gotta work together and figure all this stuff out together. I will make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I will let Proko tell you that. He's the teacher, I'm the student. At the end of the day, I'm just doing the best I can, and I feel like I've learned a lot in these last few weeks, so hopefully, in these last few years, we can piece together some of this stuff. Next up will be animal anatomy. I cannot wait, but we gotta get through the body again first. So, next time, we are gonna finally tackle gesture. And, wait for it. Boy howdy, I'm ready. Bazinga! Yo, there's a lot of good pictures in here, but your job is to pick one or two, and we might get to both in that stream. There's 9 to choose from, and as far as the poll goes, I gave you 4. You are welcome to also ask me questions in the Discord if you're catching this off stream on a VOD. If you have a reference that you have that you would like me to look at, I'm almost always down, as long as I'm not in the middle of drawing. Catch me before I start drawing or after I wrap up, and we can do critiques. But yeah, honestly, unless anyone tells me I'm gonna do Big Mama right here, tells me otherwise, because golly, look at that, it's gorgeous. The spine, the objective is to find the spine, obviously, but I just want to heck and do a gesture of this lady, because dang, she looks great. It's a little scary to look at, so I'll get her off screen. But anyway, as always, my friends, I'll be here every Sunday at 3 p.m. PST. If you also like fan art, I do a lot of Deltarune fan art at the top screen, on the top right at Crystal K25. And last but not least, PLD. PLD, keep playing, keep loving, and keep dreaming. And I will hopefully catch you next time. Make sure to vote in the Discord as well as on my channel for the next picture, and we'll see what we do. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful Sunday, everyone. I'm gonna go celebrate my birthday.